Patch 43 has arrived, and with it, it's brought some awesome quality of life changes that have come as a very pleasant surprise with this latest update. And in today's video, we're going to be covering some of the cool and unique changes that will make your day-to-day adventures that little bit more easier. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Even though patch 43 was expected to be a very small patch, and roughly a week ago we were told that this patch would only really be addressing a few tweaks and changes under the hood, such as fixing a few perk cards and optimizing energy weapon durability, there's been some awesome quality of life changes and overall bug fixes that have come with it. Now before we jump into some of these changes, I'll only be discussing some of the changes that really stood out to me that I would love to highlight in this video, but rest assured these aren't the only ones. So I'll leave a link to the patch notes in the description below where you can check out everything that has been changed. One of the first changes that came with patch 43 was the numerous changes to the mod description text for legendary weapons and armor. As you can see from the patch notes, weapons with the effects such as the bloodied effect have now been changed to be more consistent and clear with the actual legendary effect. As you can see, the old description read, damage increases as health decreases, and with patch 43 the description now reads, damage increases up to 95% as health decreases. You can see this with effects such as the Junkies effect, where the original description read damage increases when suffering from addictions, and now it reads plus 10% damage per addiction up to 50%. Now rest assured, none of these legendary effects have actually been changed, as in they haven't been buffed or they haven't been nerfed. It's mainly the description of these effects that have now been changed to more accurately reflect what these effects actually do, and quite honestly I think this is an awesome change, as even for new players coming into the game who might be unfamiliar with the numerous amount of legendary effects that are in this game, it makes these effects more clear and better to understand for everyone. So at least if you're trying to work on putting together a Junkies build, well, you now know that considering the text reads plus 10% damage per addiction up to 50%, that's now a clear indicator that you only need 5 addictions for that effect to actually work. The second change that came at patch 43 that I honestly feel will make things so much easier for everyone overall is the change that Bethesda made to crafting. As you can see from the patch notes, it states, crafting, we've added a number input option while crafting multiple items. This is a huge win and probably one of the best quality of life changes that was made with this patch, because now when you go to any crafting station like a chemistry station, Tinker's workbench, or anything you can craft items with, you can now input the number of items you want to craft, which is awesome. Bethesda previously added a great quality of life change when it came to crafting, where they introduced sliders. So basically when you were crafting items you could use a slider to go to the number of items that you wanted to craft. Now this change was definitely a welcome change, and even though it might seem like a tiny little thing when it comes to sliders, sometimes when you were crafting in bulk, it sometimes could take a while to get to the number that you wanted, but with this new addition you can now input the exact number that you want, something that just makes this process a little bit more easier on everyone and cuts down the time spent at crafting stations. Now don't worry, the slider option is still there, that hasn't been removed, so if you prefer using sliders you can still do that, but now with this addition it just makes this process a little bit less time consuming. The third change that I feel is definitely a very welcome change, and one that I know that a lot of players will love to see, is the change, or should I say fix, that Bethesda made to the auto axe and chainsaws. As you can see from the patch notes, it states, attack speed. The chainsaw and auto axe now have the same attack speed in first and third person view, and also auto axes. The auto axe can now roll 2-star faster swing speed legendary mods again. This can happen with both 2 and 3-star crafting rolls. Now, we'll discuss the legendary effect very shortly, but I want to address the fact that the chainsaw and auto axe now have the same attack speed in first and third person view. This is a huge win for people who use auto axes and chainsaws, because if you're unaware, prior to this update, weapons like these would work very differently in first person and third person views. While in first person you were previously dealing more damage compared to being in third person, and this issue was primarily down to the creation engine itself, which is the engine that Fallout 76 runs on. But now with this fix, and as you can see from this footage, I was able to deal the same amount of damage at the same speed while also in third person, and especially going up against tankier enemies. This change is a huge win for players who run melee builds, and especially if you run melee builds at world boss events, so having the option now to freely use first and third person while using the auto axe or chainsaw is definitely a big win. Now when it comes to the faster swing speed legendary mod, this legendary effect was previously removed with patch 42, so technically if you were running around with this effect on your auto auto axe, this was technically a legacy effect for the past month or two, but testing this change out, I opened up a custom world and tried to roll as many auto axes as I could, and lo and behold, and as you can see, the 40% faster swing speed effect is back in the game. So if you were looking for this effect, well, today's your lucky day as it's back and better than ever. The next change isn't really a massive change, but more of a nice little addition to the game, and that is Union Power Armor Headlamps. As you can see from the patch notes, it states, Headlamps. The Union Power Armor Headlamp mod is now buildable. Recipes can now be acquired through Expedition Rewards or Giuseppe's vendor inventory. As you can see from this footage, if you now head over to Giuseppe in the White Springs Refuge, you can now actually purchase different variants of the Union Power Armor Headlamps. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have enough stamps to pick any of these up, and I didn't hop into any expeditions yet to try and earn them as rewards, but the fact that we can now change the color of the headlamps is definitely an awesome addition, especially for those who run power armor. Now, the next addition we need is headlamps for the Hellcat power armor. Bethesda, please. The final change, or should I say fix, is one that I know that a lot of players were definitely asking for, and that was improvements made to energy weapon durability. As you can see from the patch notes, it states, energy weapons with high base damage such as the plasma caster or Tesla weapons now lose less durability per shot. Other energy weapons with lower base damage will lose slightly less durability per shot. The plasma gun also has reduced condition damage. This is definitely an awesome change, and one that I know that a lot of players who use energy weapons will definitely be relieved about, because previously, while using weapons such as the Tesla rifle and other energy weapons, their weapon condition would drop so fast, especially if you're tagging enemies at events like Radiation Rumble or other world boss events. This one will definitely go a long way for those who might have been a little bit hesitant to use the likes of Tesla rifles or other energy weapons, and overall it will cut down on the cost of materials used to repair items such as these and the amount of repair kits used. And lastly, I wanted to add in this little bonus fix that I know a lot of players have been asking about, but berry mentats have now been fixed. With patch 42, the effect that berry mentats provides, which is to highlight living creatures, was somehow broken or removed. However, with patch 43, and as you can see from the patch notes, it states, mentats address an issue where berry mentats would not highlight living creatures. And as you can see, if you take a berry mentats now, living creatures will actually glow with the purple effect that was removed with patch 42, so definitely a great one to see being fixed. And there you have it, some of my favourite changes and improvements with the patch 43 update. Again, there's a ton of changes and welcome improvements that have been added with this patch that I didn't cover in today's video, so definitely make sure to check out the patch notes, which I've left a link to in the description below. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification button to keep up to date with everything Fallout related here on the channel. And before we head on out, I want to say a massive thank you to all of our channel members and subscribers over here on YouTube, as it means the world to me that you enjoy my content and the work that I produce. For our Bethesda fans, if you find yourself shopping on the Bethesda store and would like to support the channel, you can use my creator code BTPineapple043 to receive 20% off of your purchases at checkout. And if you'd like to support the channel in a more personal way, consider checking out my merch store, which has an array of t-shirts, mugs and other pineapple related merch, which I'll leave a link to in the description of this video. And lastly, to you, the viewer, the person who stumbled upon this video, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, Vault Dwellers, stay safe out there in the wasteland, welcome to Vault 93, and I'll catch you all in the next video.